This video is sponsored by Squarespace.
We came to LA at the worst possible time. Blizzard warning, flood warning, all of the warnings, but hey, I do have a very capable car for this adventure. The Rivian R1S. The first 2 days in La La Land in this beautiful Airbnb. The sun is out, the birds are chirping, and also the birds are crashing into our window. I had to save a bird, but we resuscitated him.
Good job, babe.
Yes. This little guy ran into the glass house we're staying in. I'm sure it's killed many birds. He was so stunned that he was just like dead. Not dead, but I tried to grab him and put him in a blanket, but now he's not letting go of me. Get off me now. Oh, there we go! Yes, we did it! We saved the bird! Yay.
You saved a bird and then another one crashed like 10 minutes later.
I saved one bird and then a hummingbird died right after. Maybe that was an omen of what was to come. Come to LA, they said. It'll be sunny, they said. Right off the bat, we actually hung out with a lot of YouTubers and a lot of our friends. We were in an Innis video, which is really exciting.
Oh my God.
This is making me feel something. This is what $38 million sun feels like. You can see downtown and the ocean.
Oh my Lord.
Caught up with Jenna and Justine, but if you clicked on this video, you're probably wondering about the Rivian. The Rivian's first outing. It looks gorgeous. It looks gorgeous.
I gotta say.
Yeah. Okay, to confirm the lock, instead of a honk, it's a bird chirp. Ready?
I love that.
I wasn't able to make it out to the event, so I have it for this week, and I am so excited to drive this thing. Okay, so this is the Rivian R1S, not to be confused with the R1T, which is their truck that they released before this SUV. Driving around in LA, I definitely saw a good amount of the R1Ts, but I didn't see one R1S out there yet. Aesthetically, this thing is a beaut. I love that it comes with a physical key fob with a wrist strap, but also a carabiner at the end. To accompany the key fob, Rivian also has their own app where it will automatically unlock and lock your car. I'm not the biggest fan of how the handles stick out when you unlock the car. That just seems like a potential point of failure where you won't be able to get into your car if the handles don't pop out. The total cargo volume is 104 cubic feet, and I will say there are a lot of different small and big places to store things. And when the back 5 seats are down, they lay flat, and there's also a lip that you can even out the trunk space with those 5 seats to where you can have all of the back just completely flat. So as you can see, this is a proper SUV. We have 7 total seats with 3 rows. The standard R1S SKU is going to have around 316 miles of range. However, on the one I have, we have bigger off-roading tires, so the range is just under 300 miles. We have 835 horsepower and a towing capacity of 7,700 pounds. There is actually an air compressor in the back, as well as a boom box below the center console in the front. You have 8 USB-C inputs throughout the car, as well as 3 normal 120 volt outlets. And last but certainly not least, every electric car has to have their own version of autopilot. Rivian calls theirs Driver Plus. So this keeps you in your lane, so it does the auto steering, but also it keeps you in between traffic, just like an adaptive cruise control would normally do. This whole display is super intuitive. The UI and everything is pretty straightforward. The weather controls are interesting. It's like very extra if you want these vents turned on, you know, the animations kind of pop out at you. We do have steering wheel heating, which is great, as well as the seat heaters and coolers. Gear guard, that's essentially Sentry mode, which records when you're away from your car. This is where the gear guard clips go. If someone gets close to you and there's some action, it records on all cameras. And I will say, this is way quicker than Tesla. Just switching in between, I don't know why, but my my Model Y is a little glitchy. Sometimes it'll take a while to press play. This responds really, really well. There's so many cameras. Again, this front view camera. Why don't Teslas have a front view camera? That'd be great. The way I see the Rivian in context of Tesla and maybe some other electric cars, Tesla, I feel like, is the Apple of electric cars. Rivian is almost like the Android of electric cars. Amazing features, killer features. I've had such an amazing time driving it. The performance is phenomenal, but the only thing is charging. If you have a Tesla, you have this network of superchargers everywhere, and you can charge almost to a full battery within 30 minutes, and it's just reliable, right? I would compare the lack of charging infrastructure for non-Tesla EVs to Android not having iMessage. It's like this gap, right? Everything is amazing about the car, but it's missing that one special thing. But the difference is Android is probably never gonna solve this blue bubble problem because it's more of an Apple problem, and Apple's not gonna open up their walled garden, right? But with electric cars, the infrastructure is gonna get there. And this trip has been interesting because my experience with all of the third-party chargers in Texas was terrible. But a place like LA was actually really impressive. There's a lot of EV Go chargers around here, and the first charger I went to worked. Okay, so I'm on the way to what I think is like a 50 kilowatt charger. There's a ton of chargers around here, but not a ton of fast chargers. This is the biggest missing piece for non-Tesla EVs, is charging when you're away from your home. Something I appreciate in all cars besides Tesla is it has a camera in the front so you don't run into parking structures and things. At EV Go, I already have the app because this is what I use for the Hummer EV. I'll be right back. Okay, so my experience with non-Tesla charging, EV Go is the way to go. They have fast charging, and you can also plug in Teslas here. So they have all of the different charging ends. Tesla is different than what you're gonna plug into a Rivian. Rivian and the Hummer EV was the same nozzle type thing. I don't know the technical word. And what I've noticed, EV Go is kind of pricey, just a little bit pricey, but I guess what you're paying for is stability and the fact that when you plug in one of their chargers, it's actually gonna work. So we've done 20 minutes at this charger so far. We've done, let's see, 17.29 kilowatt hours, and it is $8. So we've gone from like 79 miles to now 120 miles. I think that's really all I need for now, but it's good that the first charger I went to worked. Maybe that's a California thing, maybe because they're prioritizing EVs, you know, they have that deadline that you're not going to be able to buy a gas car starting in 2030, which is pretty ambitious, right? If I waited here for an hour, 45 minutes, I could get a full charge. That's still not as good as Tesla. Also, I'm such a big fan of when the Rivian's charging, you see it on the nose, on the headlight of the car. The Hummer EV had a even cooler animation, I feel like, because it shows how much you're charged. So I'm just a big fan of like quirky things like that. Listen, California does a good job in that there are parking garages everywhere, right? But the only downside is you have to use the parking garages that cost money for everything. If you want to charge a car on top of how much it costs to charge, you also got to pay the parking garage fee on top of it. Oh God, terrible. This. Okay, so many things just happened. That was $21 freaking. Okay, I shouldn't have chosen to charge at a museum parking lot. I was there for 30 minutes. It was $21. Oh my God, just LA in general is so expensive. Okay, so that, the parking, the fact that we had to book a hotel on top of our Airbnb, the hotel was $1,500. $1,500 extra dollars. Like, this trip is too much. It's too much. Watch the ads in this video, I guess. Hey, Sarah, I'm glad you're having fun in LA, but we have some business to do just for a little bit. Thank you, Squarespace, for sponsoring this video. And you watching, yeah, you, do you have business to do online or in real life? Well, Squarespace is what you need to use to get that done. They have so many amazing ways to sell both physical and digital goods. Recently, I launched my new Peachy merch shop exclusively with Squarespace. Squarespace. They have a really cool integration with Printful where you can set everything up. You have a huge selection of products to put your designs on. You can set your own prices. And finally, you can add it to your Squarespace store. So now on saradietschy.com, where I have used Squarespace to build my creative portfolio, I also have my merch store under the same umbrella, and Squarespace makes it so easy. So whether it's physical goods or even digital goods, you can release any type of digital product. Say you want to run your own course, maybe create your own membership community where people pay you per month to access exclusive content. You can do all of that on Squarespace. And you probably already know they have beautiful templates to get you going with your website, but they just released something called the Fluid Engine. They rebuilt how you build your Squarespace website from the ground up. You can take pictures, text, any block, any element, and move them wherever you want. And then no matter if you're viewing your website on a desktop or a mobile phone, your website will adjust accordingly and everything works perfectly. But now you just have a ton of more flexibility when you're building your website, whether you want it to be your creative portfolio, your main destination to sell goods online, run a newsletter, take appointments. The sky is the limit, and Squarespace has so many tools to run your business online. So hey, if you want to check it out, you can go to squarespace.com for a free trial. But if you want to get started today, you can go to squarespace.com/saradietschy, that's me, for 10% off your first purchase of a domain or website. Oh man, has my sleeve been like that the whole time? You guys didn't notice. I'm a professional, okay? Anyways, they are rolling out so many features all the time, it's almost hard to keep up, but you should check it out for yourself. Link in the description below. Back to California. I feel like LA, maybe California as a whole, is kind of like a peek into the future where, hey, the gap is shrinking, right? Once you have all these electric cars that you can charge wherever, that doesn't become as much of a problem. Well, Tesla actually doesn't have that much of an advantage anymore. This Rivian car is beautiful. It is so fun to drive and it's just fast. So even though the aesthetics are more maximalist and you can customize more things, like maybe on Android, it's not as minimalistic as, you know, Apple or Tesla. I'm trying to stick with my simile here, my metaphor. That's the right word, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so maybe my metaphor is kind of falling apart. Me comparing Rivian to Android is not a bad thing. Android has a lot of amazing phones, but the reason why my parents won't ever switch is because iMessage. They like getting photos and videos, right? And that's the same thing with why a lot of people won't buy a non-Tesla is the charging. Going fast, fast acceleration, those are features of electric cars, not just Tesla. And that's what I think I'm kind of realizing, like, oh, these are very good cars, and Tesla is not the only one anymore. My driving experience so far has been really great, but allow me a moment to just talk about a few of my pet peeves. The moment you hit park, the car unlocks automatically, which is like, okay, I get what they're trying to do, because if you immediately put your car in park, you're probably exiting the car. But a lot of times when I park, I stay in my car for a little bit, or maybe I just pulled over and I'm looking at my maps, or I have to text someone, right? If the car is locked, keep it in lock. Also, I don't want to get kidnapped or something, you know? I feel like they put the lock button in a convenient place, top left of the screen. If I want the car unlocked, I can press the unlock. Also, every time that you put in park and you open up the door, your seat automatically adjusts back for you. I get the intention, right? But just like when I was paying the parking ticket, I had to open the door, and then when I whipped the car back in drive, I had to wait for my seat to get back in its normal position. And the last thing, this is something that can't be adjusted by software, or maybe the things I just said could be changed in the settings, I couldn't find them though, is the location of the wireless charging pad for your phone. On the Teslas, there are 2 designated spots that are very clearly below the screen, and your phone doesn't move because there's a designated spot for it. The charger in this car is right here, where I naturally put a lot of my junk anyways, but if you can hear the charge. Okay, so it's charging now. However, my phone moves around here, and so it kind of goes on and off, charging, not charging, and it's kind of annoying to get it in the right position and to leave it in the correct position. And even when I just want to put my phone here and I don't necessarily want to charge, the charging, not charging sound effect from my phone is kind of annoying because it goes on and off the pad. Okay, so my intention with this video was to be 100% about the Rivian R1S. It's a super cool car. I had some collabs lined up. We were gonna shoot a really fancy video with this fancy car gimbal, but guys, The weather here has been challenging. I swear, if I'm a part of one more unprecedented weather event, it's not gonna be pretty. It has been pretty hectic all week. This is, I think, the only day with sun. Hasn't it this entire week? And so we're gonna go a little bit more vloggy, if that's okay.
Ready? You want to say hi to the video? Or now, are you shy now? Ready? I'm not leaving you. Hi. Hi, you are so precious.
You are a good boy. You love Sarah.
Yes, we had some good hangs.
Oh, it's cold. It's a party in the Rivian.
Yay!
Beautiful day. Oh, here's a hump. Wait.
The suspension in here is great. You should, pop that up.
Okay, so have some friends here in the Rivian. Now, Jenna, you've actually done a video. Justine, have you done a video on this?
I did, yeah. But
Okay.
Jenna drove most of the time.
Okay.
I did.
So
Yeah.
what do the people need to know?
Okay, so oh my gosh, so we had it back in May of 2022. We were some of like the first people to drive it, which was very scary. They said that only like the CEO had one, so very scary. But I feel like the details in the car. Like I love like this dashboard. Like this is the launch edition, so it has all of like the little like yellow accents too, which was very upsetting when people tried to get the launch edition. It was sold out. But like I love, there's like the flashlight in the door, there's the speaker that we talked about, but I was
Air compressor.
the air compressor.
Yes.
Yeah, I was like working my way back, but there's the air compressor.
So many details.
There's a lot of details, and I can't remember because it's been so long.
I know. Well, even just like the materials too, like this wood is super nice.
is
But your
nice.
Model S has that as well, right?
It has
wood
the carbon
finishes?
fiber. Yeah, it's the carbon fiber.
We also
It's a great car.
we traveled, so it was me, Justine, and my parents, and we have a lot of stuff. So I was actually really surprised by how much we could fit. Speaking of, have you gotten in the front yet?
Oh, I haven't.
There's a
Okay.
Is this an opportunity to
Yes.
get in the front?
You're getting in the front because I think you have to do it.
There's a button inside
There's a
that'll
button,
let you
but
get
we
out.
could talk about it. Yeah, so
Okay,
there's a button
okay.
inside. This is so exciting.
This is LA. How is this LA?
Yeah.
It makes no sense. Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Okay, let's make sure you know where the release is.
Hold on. You guys are gonna close the door on me?
You did it. It's safe. I mean, if you want to go first.
I don't know how I feel about this. I think we put Justine in the front
wait it.
first.
Here, hold my
Yeah.
not beer.
I'll hold your not beer.
So just to prove to you, like, this is safe. There is a trunk release.
Oh my god. What is happening right now?
Just close her in, Sarah.
Okay, please scream if you need help.
I'll be fine. Yeah, no,
Okay.
it's good.
All right, here we go.
Bye.
Ready? Bye. Okay.
Oh, you like actually question.
Am I not supposed to? Oh, okay.
See, no, it's fine. There's a trunk release, and the best part about it is it lights up because it's like glow in the dark.
Wow.
Your turn.
Okay. You're fine. Here we go. Here we go. My butt is too big.
No, look.
My butt is too big. I'm
You're
getting
okay.
kidnapped.
You're okay. You're okay. You're okay.
We just talked about sex.
Okay, you're in. And now you're out.
Okay, that wasn't too bad. Although, if I was ever kidnapped, I would probably just like die before we arrived to our destination. That millisecond was so scary.
So I know that questions that when I posted the video, a lot of people had was how was the back seat. So I think we all have to get in the back seat.
Okay, so sound off, I am 5'5".
5'6", 5'3.5.
Okay, so now you have some context.
Not your best subject.
Let's see if me and Justine can fit back here.
Umbrella. Okay. Yeah, there's no seatbelt here.
Only
so
two, but
you wouldn't want to do this.
But like I was surprised by the leg room.
Oh,
Like it's a
yeah.
decent amount of leg room.
No, this is good.
I forgot that 3 people don't sit in the back.
no, but you can fit.
We just showed you 2 things of what not to do.
so nice.
That's nice, right? Oh, did I break the car already? It's so cold. It's so cold and cloudy. We still got some hangs in, we did some podcasts. Rain has been absolutely pouring. John and I, we've actually spent a lot of time inside. We're catching up on Drive to Survive. Did you enjoy like your first immersion into F1 and Drive to Survive?
I did. Yeah, I had low expectations for whatever reason.
Low expectations.
I don't know why. I just have never really been interested in racing, and then when I watched it, I was like, "This feels like a movie. It's like Top Gun or
Yeah.
something. It's so wild."
Well, that's what Toto said.
Oh right, yeah, that's
how
why I
you
got that
said that,
reference.
yeah.
Yeah. No, it was so action packed. No, like this is how you tell a story, 100%. So I think I like the story more than I like the actual sport.
Yeah. So we are officially caught up. John hasn't watched all the seasons, but we got through season 5, and and now I am ready for the 2023 season of F1 to start this weekend. I am so excited, and even more juice because we actually hung out with your homie Garrett, and he has a race car sim chair that literally simulates the drive that you're doing. So if you go off a cliff, it kind of feels like you're going off a cliff. Oh shit.
Move his heel out.
Oh my god! Oh! Oh my god!
Oh my god, stop that! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Yeah, I knew you'd be super excited because he literally had the F1 controller.
Actual F1. It's like one of the actual F1 wheels.
This is the actual thing they train with.
Yeah, that's like one of the more realistic F1 racing sim wheels you can get.
Wow.
And I was like, Sarah's gonna buy this as soon as she plays with this once.
Yes, I will. Okay, this trip was a little bit more hectic, a little bit more expensive than we thought it was, but I think it was good.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
so much fun.
It's our last day in California today, and of course it's beautiful the day that we're leaving, but it was so fun to not only just hang out with YouTuber friends, but to also test out this new Rivian SUV. It is such a big boy. It was so much fun, and I'm actually really enjoying kind of like reviewing cars right now, or not reviewing, just more like living life with these cars, you know, because I'm not a car reviewer. So let me know if you're liking the car content, and if you don't, I'll just go back into my hole and never make another YouTube video again.
Perfect.
Alright guys, let me know if you like this video. Hit that subscribe button down below for new videos every single week, and check out my Squarespace link down in the description below. Until next time, stay peachy. Okay, bye.